KIDO Talk Radio, good afternoon. It is time for Welcome Home. We are once again here, Garden Plaza, Valley View. Jennifer's with us. Jennifer, good to have you with us once again.
Good to see you.
Good to see you right here Saturday afternoon. Beautiful day in the Treasure Valley. A lot going on. Before we get to our special guest, John, certainly we're getting ready for Halloween, Thanksgiving. What's going on here? We're
still recovering from Oktoberfest, Kevin, but we have, so much coming up with the holidays. So, trick-or-treating here for the residents, get to sit out and pass out candy and lots of kids.
Well, I was going to ask you, first of all, can you share with us anything about Oktoberfest? A lot of fun, we all have this image of Oktoberfest.
And that it was. We had, the complete band, we had sausage product, we had pretzels, and of course beer.
Lots of beer,
Lots of beer,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that went over extremely well. So trick-or-treating, we're all kids at heart. What's that going to be like?
Well, we provide the candy for our residents, and they get to sit around in the common areas, and the community can come and bring their children in and load up on the goods.
Oh, that's very good. Looking forward to that. And certainly a win-win. The kids get candy and the folks here have a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're all kids at heart. Speaking of which, joining us now is John. I don't know if we're going to get a word in edgewise with you. Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
I am living the dream here. What about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, young man.
I came from a home in Eagle. And what I found is when you move here, it's different than when you move from the house I lived in California to the house in Eagle. You bring everything. However, my appetite for everything I brought was greater than the facility. The facility is great, but I had to keep sending stuff back. So finally, I got it whittled down. I have only one storage here, but I found out that coming here was so much different. In a way, it was great because the people I hired to move me even hung the shower curtains, and everything was moved back and forth. So finding this place was really what God had in store for me. And just to digress on that, my son was instrumental in talking me into doing what I'm doing. However, I looked at 6 other places and I wasn't almost going to look at this place. I thought, well, I've seen 6, so I'll pick one of those 6 on it. And then I came here, and their staff, Kath, took me down and showed me where I am, and that jumped out at me. I have a full refrigerator. I have a 5-burner flat stove. I have an oven and a microwave. I'm one of those that likes to fix my own breakfast. So that worked out great for me. The staff here has been fantastic. I'm going to tell you that the other places I looked at, they were nice, but nothing like this place on it. The only thing that I thought I was confused about, when I asked how old it was, I thought it was like 5 years old or something. They said 32 years, I think, is what they told me. And I thought they were making that up. However, I did find out they were true because I was in civil engineering, I was in construction. And there was one time that the Congress mandated that the toilets be low flush. We have low flush toilets here. Nothing wrong with them.
Well, you're giving us a lot of information here. I appreciate
don't know about that. But go ahead. Is there anything else you want me to cover other than what I had for breakfast?
Well, and the low flush toilets. We appreciate that, John.
Okay.
It's going to be tough to keep up with you. What about working with Jennifer and Kat? What was that like? You talked about it a little. We all hate moving. We all hate change, but it seemed to work out well for you.
Oh, it did fantastic. Kat is a real asset. Jennifer, my goodness, she's pretty. And they have pretty girls here. I don't know how they hired all these pretty girls, but they do. And they are all, even in the kitchen, the food is superb.
So wait a minute, they're pretty girls and they do a great job, not just pretty girls.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
They like what they're doing. Their management, the owner,
and they're good to look at, too, right?
Pardon me?
And you like to look at them.
Oh, you better
they're pretty
believe
girls.
It. At my age, I'm harmless, but believe me, I like to look at pretty girls.
Okay.
On it. But the thing is, even the house cleaners are great. They do my room every week, and they are superb. There isn't anything here that has really irritated me on it. And, I can be irritated really easy.
I don't see that at all.
No, a lot of times I don't turn the other cheek, let's put it that way. But everything they have done here. I got taken for an appointment yesterday. I had to go for something called a colonoscopy. I was praying about it because I thought, oh, geez, I've had it done before. And I got good word there. They said I never have to go back. But the girl that took me, she was very good. She showed me a way out of this place that I didn't know. I used to go always to Fairview. Instead, she took me out, and I got on Emerald there. She knew exactly what it came back and got me and brought me back. I am telling you, they are superb here on it. So do you have any other question, or did I confuse you already?
No, I was going to say you enjoyed the colonoscopy.
Well, that was also strange.
Really?
I had it done a year ago, and and I'm 85 now. I was 84 at that time. And when I looked up online, because you can find everything online, it said you normally would be 10 years my age. So the nurse from the doctor called me and said I would have to come back this year, which I did yesterday. Anyway, before I could ask the question, she answered me. She said, well, normally, John, it would be 10 years, but we found large polyps, and so you have to come back. And before I could even ask, that was there. So when the doctor reassured me yesterday, I was praising the Lord because I had prayed about it all the way through that.
Sure.
On it. So anyway, but like I say, I don't know. This place is fantastic on it. Some of the other places I looked at were just not that good. Let's put it that way.
Sure, John. And, here at Welcome Home, let's talk about what makes it so friendly. You talked about you like to cook breakfast, you like to go out, you like the pretty girls.
Well, I like where I am. I'm on the first floor. I can easily get out the access there. My van is there. Kat's arranged for me to get one of the carports, which is nice, and so all of that. And the staff is superb here. I mean, I don't know the other places. Maybe they are good too, but here they go out of their way. They go that extra mile. And again, like I said, they reflect on the owner because the owner is good. I finally met her today for the first time. She is great. And everyone here, the one that, Kat. Now, Kat.
You talk about Kat quite a bit.
Well, she is, because what happened, I told you, my son was instrumental in talking me into it. What had happened, his wife got very sick. I mean, he was taking care of her. He had to retire from his business, the company he was working for. And when I saw him in October, his wife was almost like a vegetable. Now, I tried to pray for her, but my prayers are answered. She got her healing in heaven. I knew that. But he was worried that it would happen like what happened with her. So he said, you got to find a place where you have eventually assisted living if you need it, and so forth and so on. He was instrumental in talking me into coming here on it, because as far as I was concerned, getting rid of my house would be after I died. It would be their problem, not mine. Worked out fine, because we were able to have somebody come in, move the stuff, and so forth and so on. But Kat took her camera, her phone, and I don't know how you do this, showed my son the room. He was in New Jersey, but he could look at his phone and see it. She could point everything out to him. So he was comfortable with what I was comfortable with. You understand?
Yes, I thought he was local, but...
No, my son's in New Jersey. He's eventually going to come here again and visit me, but he's kept putting it off because of the work he's doing now.
So what's your average day like here?
Average day is I do a lot of reading in the morning. And then from then on, if I need to, I go shopping here. I like to go to Walmart. However, there's a Walmart at Glenwood and at Overland and Cole that I won't go back to. It's too hard to work in that one. But I go do things like that. I go different places. I do have a periodical Bible study that I go to, and I pray for a lot of people. And that's about it for me.
Sure. What's it like working with Jennifer?
Oh, my goodness. She is gorgeous. Come on now. And you get to work with her all the time.
Oh, yes.
And you got this other one here that you work with, too.
It really works well on the radio, the descriptions of the young ladies here.
No,
but
you
yes.
look good for radio. Let me tell you.
I appreciate that.
You have a figure for radio.
I do, yes.
I said that one time at one of the churches. The pastor was talking about that he had a face for radio, and I said, "Amen." And everybody looked at me thinking, "Well, he did,
Sure.
on it." But you do. You have a great personality too.
Oh, well, thanks for throwing that in. I appreciate
I
it.
know, but you beat up on that guy that helps you. Geez,
Really?
yeah, that poor guy on it. Really, I mean, he's got to really put up with you. I feel sorry for him.
Well, John, you've said a lot.
I don't know about that part.
Jennifer, what do you think when you hear John just having a great time here and so happy? And that idea of, not idea, but trust, where John's son lives far away and he trusts the staff and the folks here to take care of his dad.
It's a great feeling. And I do come to work because it's good for my ego, you can see. So it's wonderful to be able to work and help all of our residents.
John, anything else?
No, it was nice of you to have me on. I'm sorry. I don't know if I said what you wanted to hear. That's all I can tell
Oh,
you.
you've said a lot.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed having you on, though.
Okay. You are very kind.
No.
I know, really.
Really.
And, I know people they will lie to you, so you're a good liar. That's all I can tell you.
Face for radio, physique for radio. I beat up on this guy, and I'm a good liar. Not bad.
Yeah, I know.
Not
You're,
bad for
you're batting 1,000.
Well,
No, you are. You're a great interviewer.
Well, thank
I've
you.
never been interviewed before, and I'll deny everything if I have to go before Congress.
John, thank you. You're listening to Welcome Home on KIDO Talk Radio. And welcome back to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza, Valley View. Kevin Miller with you here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Jennifer with us, and it's a wonderful time of the year, getting ready for the holidays. On one hand, it's great, but on the other hand, it can be stressful.
It can be, but we have a great team here at Garden Plaza, and we just we have a great plan in place for the holidays. Lots of activities coming up. So stress, I wouldn't say, just busy.
Well, that's good. Ken joins us now. Ken, how are you?
I'm doing great. Feel good this morning. I just came from the stretch class, and I'm doing good with that.
The stretch class, can you share with us a little bit about that?
Well, my second time down, and it's working good for me.
Did it take a lot for them to talk you into stretching?
No, it's just a matter of going down and going to the class.
Sure. Now, how long have you lived here?
This is my 4th week.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And
Well, what brought you here?
my son, Brad, my wife died a little over 2 years ago, and he was been encouraging me to get into a senior community, and I could have gone to Wisconsin to be with another son and his family, and I chose this because I'm really fond of my granddaughter Morgan, who's 18.
You get a chance to speak with her quite a bit?
Yes, I do. Yeah, and I'm close to her mother too, and Michelle.
Well, that's great that you get a chance to be around them,
Yep.
and they come to visit. And
Yes, they do. And they're both busy, but still find time to get together.
Well, what about you getting together? It's been 4 weeks. Tell us a little bit about the fun.
It is. I tell people this is a 5-star property, and I'm pretty close, right? Or
You are. You are.
Right.
Ken's just jumped right into the community. He takes advantage of all of the activities.
Yep.
And I think you're going to the gym now, aren't you?
I am going to XM too, but right now I'm getting therapy for my back next door with Karen. She's been helping me a lot with my back. I've had some back issues before I came here, and we're getting them resolved.
Well, and Jennifer, that's one of the benefits of being here at Garden Plaza Valley View. You have the opportunity to take a stretch class or get some therapy. Like as Ken's talked about, he's only been here 4 weeks and he's hitting the ground running.
He is. He's a great addition to the community, and it is so beneficial that we do have the rehab here, the assisted living, independent living. We just have everything that we can offer to our residents to give them better quality of life.
Ken, let's talk a little bit about the big decision. I mean, it's easy now that you're here for 4 weeks, but did you look at other places or?
No, I didn't. I left it up to Brad to find a place because he was familiar with senior care places. And he chose this one, and I got the booklet, and I looked it over, and that's what I made a decision. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to come here.
Has it been easy to make friends?
Yes, it has. Yes, it really. You have to get out and do it, and it's working good for me.
Now, what were you doing for most of your life? What did you retire from? What was your life experience?
I worked for UPS for 35 years.
Well, that's rough work.
Yeah, it was. And it's been, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's the decision to come here has been easy for me, and everything's working out great.
Yeah, it's such a tough challenge, and we think of trusting people to have a clean, fun, safe place.
It is.
It's easier said than done, right?
Yeah. Well, Brad knew what to look for, and he's familiar with senior living. So.
Now, what's your favorite part of the day?
I don't know. The whole day.
Right.
The whole day.
I think meals, they do a lot of socializing, and I think this weekend they were talking about my car, actually, and who drove the white Jeep out in the parking lot, and I had a lady say, well, Ken Swisher said it was your car. So next thing I knew, I've got a list of people who want to take a ride around town in the Jeep. So I think socializing is a huge thing that you were missing, right?
Right. What I have a car outside that Brad is trying to sell, too. It's in a parking lot. And it says Packers. Did you happen to see that?
I did.
Mm-hmm. Packers. And it's he suggested that I don't drive anymore. And even though I had 64 years of safe driving, maybe I felt it was time maybe for me to stop driving, and I saw a car and go forth.
Well, and that's where being here works so well for you because you can have people drive you places.
Transportation is right. It's working great.
And that is important, Jennifer, not only when we're talking about trips to the store or to the gym or, just out and about to a doctor.
Exactly. As long as we have a little bit of advance notice, we can take our residents wherever they need to go. We have regularly scheduled banking trips, and with the holidays coming up, to the mall to go shopping and whatever they need.
And how does that make you feel, Ken, that driving, especially now these days, it can be stressful.
Yeah, that's what Brad said. He preferred that I didn't drive anymore.
There are crazy people on the road.
Even though I've had 64 years of safe driving, but he says that it's a different world out there today.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that we decided to offer the community and our residents here at Valley View is the AARP Safe Driving class. We host that once a month here, and I think that Ken might take that. I'm not sure, but that is gives you a discount on your insurance and
Brad recommended that, so maybe taking the class.
Ken, anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, all I want to say is the people here and the facility is just outstanding, and very happy that I came.
What would you say to someone listening right now that maybe they're in their home or someplace they're not happy about Garden Plaza Valley View?
Come and see Jennifer and let her show you the property.
Well, we've heard about Jennifer and her white Jeep.
Yeah, really. You have to see it to believe it, I guess. But I didn't see it. I took my son's word for it, and I'm happy that I came.
Well, Ken, we're happy that you're here. We appreciate your time.
Okay.
So, Jennifer, when we take a look at how does somebody set up a tour, how does somebody take a look at the facility? Obviously, there's the web, but when you're talking about a loved one, mom or dad or someone else, you want to have that physical look.
Sure. We're here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, so anybody could stop by the property at any time. It's especially nice if they call first and schedule a tour, sample the food, experience the lifestyle. We have guest rooms that a person might want to come and just stay and see if this is a good fit for them.
Yeah, we've heard about that before. People can actually come in and stay a night or two and check it out.
Yeah. Yep. And they usually never leave.
Well, and that, again, going back to speaking about the atmosphere here that Ken has described, where you come in and, like a lot of us, you go to a new place, you're not sure, and then boom, magically you're showing up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're going out, you're doing stretching classes. That's quite a commitment. For people listening right now, what would you say to them individually that, they're worried about their mom or dad?
Just offer a visit here. Just come in and experience. Our residents envelope new people. I had my mom and my sister recently come into town and stay here for the weekend, and our residents couldn't leave them alone. They wanted to take them around and introduce them to everybody. It can be overwhelming, but once people come here, they realize what a wonderful place it is.
Indeed. Of course, the website and the phone number are available online, right?
Mm-hmm. ValleyViewRetirement.com or 208-322-0311.
Right, and you can always check the web just to make sure you have the right number and everything. And like I said, I'm amazed that with the technology, use the technology so someone, whether they're in Wisconsin or New Jersey, they can look real time at a possible room for their loved one.
Absolutely. We FaceTime with family all of the time. Out-of-state moves are always a little tricky because you don't know what you're going to get, but we do walking tours. We really bond with out-of-state family to make everybody involved.
And Ken, you agree with that?
I do.
All right. That's your story.
That is. I couldn't be happier. I might add that I'm glad I came.
Well, we're glad that you joined us this afternoon on Welcome Home.
Okay.
You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. You're listening to 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Kevin Miller here, your host for Welcome Home from Garden Plaza of Valley View. Jennifer, good to have you back. Boy, we've had quite an action-packed show today.
Yes, we have.
John and Ken. And certainly one thing we do want to say is if people want to get in touch, what can they do?
They can search us up on the web at valleyviewret.com, or they can call anytime at area code 208-322-0311.
And that's 7 days a week, right?
Absolutely.
And FaceTime, all sorts of things.
Uh-huh.
What's it like dealing with folks that are out of state?
That's my favorite. I love working with people out of state, whether it's the resident who's out of state or if it's the family who's out of state, because there's so much that we can do to have everybody involved. We FaceTime, we do walking tours with FaceTime, and it could be challenging, but it's really fun to bring people here from out of town.
Well, it is such a gift to be able to coordinate with folks, because I would imagine there's a high level of stress.
Not stress.
On their end, the family members.
Yeah. On the family member, there's stress, there's guilt, and we try to relieve that any way that we can.
Well, now we have a young lady with us. If you'd like to introduce her, and then we'll put her on the firing line here.
Sure. Lisa Shackelford is here with me today, and we go way back from the real estate days. And Lisa's here because she specializes in seniors moving.
Well, welcome, Lisa, to Welcome Home.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
What are the challenges, especially in this rapidly expanding, rapidly competitive market that we call the Treasure Valley. I mean, real estate is front page news all the time.
It is. The biggest problem that I find with a lot of my clients is they just sit and wait. They're paralyzed with fear and not wanting to move.
Right.
That's an overwhelming problem for a lot of people and families.
Well, especially, Lisa, when you think about so many years in your home,
Yes.
and we don't like change. A lot of us don't like change when we're even thinking about, getting a new car, never mind leaving a home. How do you work with the folks?
I just try to be a resource. A lot of times I think there's so many things that go into making that move that they're just paralyzed with the fear. When I walk in the door with over 100 preferred vendors, and I've got people that can help them with absolutely everything that they need to have to navigate successfully through that process.
We were talking earlier with Jennifer about stress.
Yeah.
And it may not be the senior that's stressed, although I'm sure they are, but the family members that all of a sudden they're used to mom and dad taking care of them, and they've got to take care of mom and dad.
Right. And often it's just overwhelming. There's a lot of two-income, two-professional household families, and mom and dad. What do we do? How do we do this? It's going to be every weekend. I can go in and get people moved, help with every piece of that transaction and transition.
How crazy is the real estate market here right now?
It's actually slowing down a little bit, so that's kind of nice. Typical.
What, from super hot to just hot?
Yeah, right. Exactly. The climate is cooling a bit, but it's still a great place to live, and that's why we will continue to have a thriving real estate market.
Now, you've been doing this for many, many years.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a market like we have now? Was it similar to that in 05 or 06?
Somewhat. I think the difference is that the lending piece has really gotten straightened out. That was pretty Wild West in the lending department back in those days.
Right. I mean, you just have to watch the movie or read the book The Big Short. When you're talking to folks, obviously trust is such a precious commodity.
It is.
When someone says, I want you to sell our family home, and you have people moving in from California or wherever, and zip, zap, zoom, how do you balance the needs of the seller, obviously, with the buyers that are happy to either move into a neighborhood or move into a new state?
The sellers are my number one concern. I know it is legal to double end properties, but I choose not to do it. I only list them.
And why do you do that?
Because I want to keep this is not a typical transaction, and my sellers need a lot of extra time and care, and I want to make sure that I'm available to give them that.
How important is that to you, Jennifer, when you hear what Lisa talks about and how she does business with people that could possibly come here?
Well, trust is the main thing, and we have seniors that are in their home who are so vulnerable, and if you have to build a team that you can trust and rely on that's not going to take advantage of this person.
And really, that's one of your jobs, is helping with that transition.
Absolutely. I work with the family very close, and they rely on me to refer the vendor, whether it be a real estate agent, a hospice company, or home health. It's just you have to have a strong team of people.
Sure. And back to that team, Lisa, so once the decision is made, can you take us through that process? Maybe someone who maybe initially they were reluctant, but they were happy that they finally made that decision. They finally made that decision to take care of themselves.
Absolutely. So that's going to look like this. I will go and preview wherever they're going to be moving. I'm a designer as well, interior decorator. So I can help them go through their homes, make their space a really cohesive, beautiful space for them. Then we move. I help the family. Sometimes I'm sending a baby grand piano to Detroit. Things go all over the place. Help the family navigate that. If we need an estate sale, great. pre-listing home inspection. If you just want to sign in a lockbox, I'm not your agent. I'm very full service and hands-on.
Well, I'm sure the family appreciates that.
They do, and I actually just get to adopt new family members all the time. I come from a place, my mother was in a coma from the time I was 15 till I was 26. So then in my 30s, my grandparents had buried both of their children. And so I helped them navigate this whole process. So I kind of jokingly say I grew up in a nursing home, and that gave me a lot of heart and a lot of empathy and understanding all of the challenges that go with this. So this has been something that I've done for people for many years, and I've really just started focusing primarily on seniors because I was seeing people in very vulnerable positions being taken advantage of. So.
What's been your experience when some of your new family members move into Garden Plaza? What have they shared with you?
I have not heard one negative review. Everybody's very happy. I do try to come in and see my friends at least once a month after they've moved. So I just have a wonderful takeaway with Valley View. The staff and all of its amenities, everything is absolutely wonderful.
And a few characters.
Oh, my goodness.
That we've run into.
Yes, well, that keeps life interesting, Kevin.
It does, Lisa, it does. Jennifer, what advice would you give people that are listening right now? And Lisa, why don't you jump in? You know, obviously this is a passion for you.
Yes.
When they see the housing market the way it is, it's cooled off a little, but is it time to make that big step? This is what you guys do.
We ran into a situation recently, Kevin, where a decision wasn't made fast enough, and unfortunately a person lived in their home alone, isolated for a very long time. And by the time they reached out to Lisa and I, we actually set up the room. Lisa did everything she needed to do, and this person passed away before they could move in. So my suggestion is just don't wait. Take that step, no matter how hard it is, and don't die alone.
If people want to get a hold of you, Lisa, what can they do?
I can be reached at 208-794-7695. I'm with Epic Real Estate, so we've got state-of-the-art everything, and I kick it old school. That's why I love my seniors.
State-of-the-art with the old school.
Right.
Jennifer gave us a very revealing story here moments ago.
Yes.
How about a good story?
How about a good story?
But again,
yes. I'm helping actually this woman's grandson navigate the rest of this process. So it's not just the real estate. I'm helping him navigate what it means to be an executor of a will and getting him the specialty help he needs. So it's not just selling a home. It's the whole package.
Going the extra step.
Do the right thing.
And a lot of people say that. Why is it important to you?
My word is my bond, and I like to sleep at night.
Yes, so that is good. Lisa, one more time, your phone number, please.
Sure, it's area code 208-794-7695.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Jennifer, this will be our final segment with you.
Yes.
I know we have to tear you away from this. Anything you'd like to share with us?
No, Kevin, it's always a good time. Thanks for coming out here, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Coming up, much more of Welcome Home here on KIDO Talk Radio. Good afternoon once again. Welcome back to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza Valley View. We continue on. Now we've got Pamela Sternberg joining us, President, General Manager. Actually, John said you're the owner of the place.
Yeah, I think that if I had enough money, I would own it.
And why is that?
Because it's a very wonderful place to work. And it would give me more option to give my employees more things and more things for the residents. But I have to say, the company that owns us is very good to me.
That's very important to you to make sure that the residents get so much.
It is. I think that if you're going to be in this industry, you have to make sure you're in it for all the right reasons, and that your heart and soul has to be in this kind of atmosphere, or we aren't doing the building or our residents or taking care of people the way we should. I should want my mother, grandmother, aunt, uncle to come and live with me someday because I run a wonderful building and that should be everyone's benchmark.
How important is it to continue the legacy here?
I think that we've been here 32 years this November. So when I started here, we had our 30-year gala, which meant the building had been here 30 years. We had a black tie affair and probably 250 people here. And it was kind of the mark of my legacy, if you take a look at it that way. The building was refurbished and they put quite a bit of money in it about 8 years ago. So the one thing I always say is that they provided me with great real estate. It's a build of a building, a great foundation, and then you build from there. So for me, you look at what you're doing in your life and what you want to leave behind. And I guess that I hope that someday somebody said I did some good and helped someone and made sure that there was the best quality of life for the people that lived in my facilities.
Well, that is so important, and certainly to people that are just moving into the Treasure Valley. Maybe they're doing some type of honeydew list today. Maybe they're working in the yard. How important and how long this home has been here, this residence.
Right, and when you look at serving Boise and our community, owners, people that are in this industry, we've been here a long time. The company has made a commitment to Boise by having this building. I am privately owned. So when you look at that, it's a commitment to your community to be part of that. And when you've been here 30 years, that's a huge commitment to it financially. For employees, I have 100 employees that work for me, and that's just in independent and assisted living. We provide we buy a lot of food, we buy a lot of products, we buy new furniture. We're a huge employer. Those are all things that help the Boise economy grow and build itself.
Now, we have our special guest here for a second appearance. Would you like to introduce our celebrity guest, our celebrity chef?
Our celebrity chef, all the way from England.
Hello there. Back again.
So we're glad he came across the ocean again to be with us. Paul's been here. Why don't you tell us how long you've been here and just recap how you made your way to Boise?
I've been here now just probably coming up to 9 years. I've worked here at Garden Plaza for 8 years. I was the kitchen manager up until 6 years ago, and then a vacancy arose and I took the food services director's position. But I still like to be hands-on chef, and working in the kitchen as well is what I like to enjoy doing.
Well, what makes a great chef?
I think it's commitment and just making sure as well the residents are getting what they want, they're happy. Every month, like today for instance, I've got a meeting with the AL residents and we'll talk about how the food's going, if there's anything we can change or improve on. And then always the last Tuesday we have a meeting with the independent living residents as well. And, we get their feedback and make sure we're still going in the right direction.
Well, how important is food, though, to the folks here?
I think food is one of the most important things to the residents. They all, as you can see from the dining room today, it's always very, very busy. The residents, I think it's 3 of the highlights of the day for them to come down for their meals and to make sure they're getting what they want and, they're leaving the dining room happy as such.
Well, and that's so important to family members, that mom or dad or the grandparents are being taken care of and eating good food.
Oh, I think nutrition is a huge part of all of our sustaining a quality of life. Residents, if you think about how daunting it is to live alone and eat every meal alone, even single people don't enjoy that at a younger age. That's why there's Uber Eats and places to go and you go out to eat. And here, when you come into our community, you have 3 wonderful meals a day. It's the socialization. It's proven that all of us eat more in a social setting where we're eating with other people and enjoying our food and having good conversation, that it helps the attitude, digestion. Food's a big part of everyone's life. And with us coming up on the holidays, Paul has some great things coming up here starting in November. So why don't you tell him what we're doing as far as the buffets and what we're serving? And
Yeah, obviously we've got Thanksgiving just around the corner. So towards the end of this month, I'll be talking to our suppliers, seeing what's available. And obviously with it being Thanksgiving, we'll be having turkey, ham, and then for Christmas, we'll be going for prime rib. And although food's available all year round, it's just to make sure what I hope is available that the suppliers can supply us with, because you never know with the weather, how it can impact what you want to produce and what is actually available at the time. So before I do the menus at the end of the month, I'll be speaking to our vegetable suppliers and the meat suppliers just to make sure everything's where we want to be before we let the residents know what we're looking at for having over the festive periods.
And we do a buffet style carved meat meal. So we have a lot of family members and extended friends, people that come in and eat. We'll serve extra, probably 150 to 175 people on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Christmas the same.
Christmas is the same. Then the other two busy days, Mother's Day, that's really busy, and Easter, they're always very, very busy, where we get a lot of the families come and join the residents as well.
So if you have a family member that's in this environment and you're looking for a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, it's very nice to say, let's go have lunch with Grandma. Let's stay around and visit and enjoy things. And it's just much easier. A lot more people are going out for Thanksgiving than they are staying home and cooking.
How do you guys balance, everybody, that's the time of year where a lot of folks take time off. Do you guys take time off?
No, we're not allowed to take any holidays. It's in our contract. I'm actually joking.
Have me on that one.
And me.
It isn't in our contract,
Right.
but it goes a little like this around the department head table. It's who's going to be here on Thanksgiving, who's going to be here on Christmas. I can say that Paul and I, since I started here 2 years ago, have spent probably every holiday here together.
Yeah, nearly every holiday we're here. There may be just the odd one, like July the 4th, where it's kind of like a bit more relaxed, where it's burgers, hot dogs, and more of a casual type theme. So
it takes a lot of people to produce 150 extra meals when you're already doing 300. So holidays in our industry is called an all hands on deck time. So events, Sherry will talk in the next segment about what we have coming up for the holidays. And when you talk about evening things that are coming up, you talk about special meals. It takes a lot of extra staff to produce those, to bring it all together. And we have wonderful food. It's not a terrible thing to spend Thanksgiving here, I think, for either one of us. Thanksgiving, Christmas. It really isn't in our contract, but it is said that this is a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour job. I haven't had a job where a position in probably 22 years that I can say that I've turned a key and locked what I run and gone home. My phone rings 24 hours a day. I spend Christmas here. I spend Thanksgiving. I spend New Year's, and same with my staff.
What is that like, though? And you've shared with us what it's like for you, but the staff, because again, on the outside world, well, we could say whether it's banking or media or whatever, everybody just pieces out until the first of the year.
Yeah, and that's really hard for all of us. You should drive by squash on those days. We don't stop like that. Our calendar doesn't work on the 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Nobody comes back until the day after Christmas. It just doesn't work that way. And I think that if you've been in healthcare or been in this kind of industry, it's a commitment you make. I always say to people, this isn't a job, it's a lifestyle. And if you don't want to embrace this lifestyle and realize what it comes to be and what it asks of you, then you're in the wrong business. I think that my department heads especially are committed beyond what I would expect them to be. I mean, I really shouldn't say that Paul has to be here every holiday. He chooses to be. It's how he makes a great chef, great meals, and great expectation for our residents.
Paul, what does it mean for you?
I really like it here, and obviously I really like when we do have one of the big functions come up, because it gives you an opportunity where you can do some slightly different things to serve out there, and it's just that buzz of when it's really busy, everybody working hard and making sure everything runs like clockwork, and if it doesn't, you know how you're going to fix it. So sometimes it does throw things at you that you're not expecting, and it's how you can kind of like get over that, accomplish it, and make sure everybody leaves here happy. And it's just really good. It's just that buzz that picks you up sort of thing for it.
Well, we appreciate it, folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to Welcome Home on KIDO Talk Radio.